National League Championship Series, Game 1. A 7-0 Bob Force shutout over Atlanta gets the Eastern Division champion St. Louis Cardinals rolling. Game 2, Darrell Porter goes 2 for 2, and the Cardinals beat the Cinderella Braves again, 4-3. Game 3, Bruce Sutter saves it, a 6-2 Cardinal pennant clincher as the Redbirds sweep to their first World Series since 1968. In Anaheim, a different scenario for the American League. Fred Lynn leads the California Angels to 2 quick wins over Milwaukee, leaving the Western Division champs only 1 victory shy of the pennant. But in Milwaukee, a sudden shift of the pendulum. The free-swinging Brewers, the major's top run-producing ball club with more than 200 home runs, stage a comeback unprecedented in championship series play. Cecil Cooper capped the final victory in Game 5 with a 7th-inning bases-loaded single to put Milwaukee ahead to stay. To ensure the lead, reserve Marshall Edwards made the big play. Peter Ladd got the big save, and the Brewers won their first pennant ever the hard way. Now they'll play the National League champion Cardinals, who won theirs the easy way. 2 red-hot teams set to meet head-on for baseball's biggest prize, a whirl through the World Series. Welcome to Busch Stadium, a park not designed for the power-packed Milwaukee Brewers, but ideal for the St. Louis Cardinals, who run to get their runs and flash quickness on defense to prevent them. This marks the Cardinals' 13th World Series, in contrast to the Brewers, who in their 13-year history are here for the first time. Pre-game speculation also centers around the fact that a half-dozen players were involved in key deals between these two clubs. But no matter how they got here, all are looking loose and ready for the challenge and celebration that only a World Series can provide.
Sylvia crying and cheering towels!
Very possibly could be a triple in that play, if you follow what I'm saying.
No, I just didn't understand.
I'm saying it's tough for an umpire.
That's the bullpen.
How about those Redbirds?
Watch out, Ozzy.
You got it! The Cardinals say they are #1!
Look like a waterfall.
Owner Gussie Busch, a master brewer himself, welcomes the Brewers of Milwaukee while cheering on his Cardinals with the rest of the hometown crowd. And with the completion of introductions and salutations, the crowning drama for a season which drew a record 44 million fans to Major League parks. And now for Game 1, almost 54,000 fans plus millions of TV viewers around the world.
Yeah.
But as Cardinals starting pitcher Bob Force soon discovered, Game 1 would be no contest. Brewer leadoff man Paul Molitor grounds out in the first, but then got 5 hits in a row to become the first player in series history to collect 5 hits in one game. And hitting second, Robin Yount ran close behind, wrapping out 4 hits in the very same game. Altogether, 9 base hits for Milwaukee's first 2 batters. St. Louis was supposed to do the running, but in this game, Milwaukee simply ran up the numbers without mercy. "17 hits served up and bounced in every possible fashion by the muscle men from Milwaukee. The net result, 10 runs for the Brewers and a long night for St. Louis. On the mound, Mike Caldwell mesmerized the Cardinals like a multi-armed Svengali. Only one base hit allowed through the first 7 innings, and in the 9th, Iron Mike still had things under control. A 10-0 3-hit shutout, the most lopsided World Series shutout since the Yankees' 12-0 basting of the Pirates in 1960. Game 2 seemed like the same might hold true in this one, as Cardinal rookie John Stupper didn't fare too well in the early knockabout rounds. Ted Simmons watched one fly high. The second homer in 2 days for the former Redbird. This solo shot came in the 3rd inning, and the Brewers appeared to be in full command once again, boasting a lead of 3-0. But in the home third, a change of focus. Brewer veteran Don Sutton discovered St. Louis would not play silent forever. Willie McGee stole second despite a 3-run deficit, and Tom Herr wants to bring him home. The Cardinals had their first run. Herr an RBI double, and before the inning was over, another run scored to close the margin to 3-2. Milwaukee later upped it to 4-2, but in the 6th, St. Louis was on the stump. Ken Oberk fell at 3rd, George Hendrick at 1st. Catcher Darrell Porter, once a Brewer, batting with 2 away. Since Porter's a sure pull hitter, the Brewers make a defensive shift to the right side. The result, a shift of fortune. 1 run. 2 runs. Must be the first ball I've hit to left in a couple of years, says Porter. Milwaukee 4, St. Louis 4, says the scoreboard. The pitcher remains unchanged till the 8th, when again trouble brews for Milwaukee. In such a situation, manager Harvey Keene would normally call on bullpen ace Raleigh Fingers, the Cy Young winner in '81. But Fingers is out with a torn arm muscle. So the choice is rookie Peter Ladd, who, though inexperienced, retired 10 straight in the championship series. Lonnie Smith works him to a full count with 1 out and 2 on. Ball 4. Said Ladd the inside edge of the ball got the outside edge of the plate, but umpire Bill Haller said ball 4. At any rate, Steve Braun was now pinch hitting with the bases full of Redbirds, bearing down on a clearly shaken young Ladd. Ball 4. Ball 4 again. And for the first time, the running Redbirds walked off with a lead. And who better to protect that lead than the Cardinals' brilliant relief ace, Bruce Sutter, who entered in the 7th to keep the lid on the Brewers. In the 9th, after a leadoff bunt single by Paul Molitor, Milwaukee decided to gamble. No dice. Moments later, 2 away. And everything's fair and square in World Series play. All tied at 1 game apiece. A hard-fought 5-4 comeback by the Cardinals, who refuse to be swept off their home turf. Next stop, County Stadium, Milwaukee. Well, the last time that happened was in 1958, when Harvey Keene and Whitey Herzog were still playing, and Milwaukee uniforms said Braves instead of Brewers. But so much for history. Time for Game 3. Shortstop wizard Ozzie Smith ready to try his hand on real grass, and flamboyant Joaquin Andujar looking for his 9th straight win, ready to strut his stuff. Overpowering stuff. But equally tough was Pete Vukovich, at least until a scoreless fifth when Cardinal rookie Willie McGee, whom Whitey Herzog discovered somewhat accidentally, stepped up with 2 aboard. Oh my, a 3-run blast for McGee, who homered only 4 times in the regular season, but now including 1 homer against the Braves in the championship series, had 2 in postseason play. Then in the 7th, McGee made it 3. Only 2 other rookies, Charlie Keller and Tony Kubek, ever hit 2 homers in 1 series game. A 5-0 cushion looked comfortable for Andujar, who'd allowed but 2 hits. But then with Ted Simmons up in the bottom of the 7th, a most uncomfortable turn of events. The pain etched so graphically on Andujar's face had the Cardinals fearing the worst. Could it mean that Simmons' base hit had shattered the kneecap of their pitching ace? Fortunately, X-rays would prove negative, but the man who'd carried the Cardinals so brilliantly in the stretch had to be carried off by the Cardinals in Game 3. As a result, relief star Bruce Sutter had to be used and almost abused, allowing 2 in the 8th before Gorman Thomas threatened more with a man on in the 9th. Incredible! Had this ball gone out, it would have been 6-4. Instead, it was instant replays and praises for Willie McGee. The Cardinals' man of the hour proved he could hit homers and prevent homers. And so thanks to Mr. McGee, the Brewer uprising was put in check as the Cardinals pocket a 6-2 victory and go up 2 games to 1. Looking back and picking up on a couple of incidents of incidental meaning to Game 3, but for those would-be arbiters of the game of baseball, possibly more interest. George Hendrick batting in the 2nd. Fair or foul? Safe or out? Simple. Well, not exactly. This one takes a keen eye. And also a little discussion from the Blue Crew.
I don't know what he is.
He was safe. He was off the bag. The guy's staying there.
The result, a Milwaukee brouhaha.
Wait a minute, I'm hurt!
Look, the guy was going to be safe.
First call was foul. Then
He went up and turned the ball, went right over the bag.
Hey, what's this color off? He was out! He's out!
Came off the bag.
Oh, no. How do you know? How do you know? You're calling time, you didn't call.
To review, for those who thought the ball foul, it was fair. But there is confusion. Is the play dead? Well, now, if it's not dead, did the first baseman have his foot on the bag?
Well, no. Think about it. He did come off the bag.
Oh, wait a minute.
Harvey Keene has his say. What about Cecil Cooper? He was there.
Were you off the bag? Were you off the bag?
I don't know if I was off the bag or not, but he said foul ball over there. He went I don't know if I was off the bag or not. I can't say.
It was that blazing speed that did it, I'll tell you.
Hey, George, I know better than that.
Even silent George Hendrick had his say. In the 9th inning, another profusion of confusion. George Hendrick races for home, but again, his blazing speed is cause for question.
Didn't it go out of the park? I didn't see what happened.
Out of the park?
That's what I thought.
Oh, okay.
You want me to check?
Yeah, check it.
Hey! That ball go out of the park?
No. Interference. The guy touched the ball. Interference. He reached down. He reached down.
He didn't score. The Chargers are third base. Yes, he didn't score.
It doesn't have to now, Whitey, and he's only going to third now when they call.
He's going to score.
I don't think he would have.
Oh, hell, we were going to send him. He made it easy.
It all goes to prove that judgment is in the eye of the beholder. But enough of this protraction. Back to the action and game 4. With spirits anything but deflated at County Stadium, Milwaukee prepared to even the count behind Moose Haas. As it turned out, Haas had little fortune behind him as Milwaukee's defense faltered early. But the outcome would be masked by strange twists from both sides. Example, Ozzie Smith at second, Willie McGee at third, and Tom Herr at the plate. It's the second inning with St. Louis leading 1-0. Gorman Thomas goes back, and Smith tags at second. Ozzie wants to score all the way from second on a sacrifice fly, and he does. The Brewers fell behind 5-1, but the sun was still shining in the 7th, and though it was still 5-1, Brewer fans waited to explode behind the team that had averaged 5.5 runs per game. Rookie Dave LaPointe, once a promising Brewer farmhand, gets ready for Ben Ogilvy, who just wanted to get something started. Something did start. Compliments of LaPointe. The error may have looked harmless, but strange noises now start to brew in the stands. Moments later, Jim Gantner gets encouragement from Coach Harry Warner.
Nice and easy. Get you a good ball to work with.
2 men on, 2 out. Ogilvy comes around to score. Don Money pulls up at third, and it's now 5-2.
Oh boy, man. You got 2 outs, man. A wild pitch fastball got to be a stand-up play at the plate. Still down 3, big guy.
Reliever Doug Baer replaces LaPointe, only to walk Paul Molitor and load the bases for Milwaukee's Player of the Year, Robin Yount. Score, and Milwaukee has itself a ball game. (5-4) St. Louis.
Hit and runner, if he's got the steal, I'll say be alive. The same thing applies, all right? You got 2 out.
Runners at the corners, and Cecil Cooper takes a turn. So does veteran Jim Cott, the Cardinals' 3rd pitcher. Molitor scores to tie it, and Brewtown is booming. St. Louis 5, Milwaukee 5. Still 2 outs, and the crowd wants Suter now that Cott's gone. Instead, Jeff Lottie comes on. Whitey Herzog wants to save Suter for later since he pitched the night before. After an intentional walk, home run king Gorman Thomas steps in with the bases loaded, hoping to shake a 2-for-14 slump. Two more runs score to make it 7-5 Milwaukee. Without warning under powder blue skies, the Storm was back in Brewtown. 6th, 7th inning runs, all with 2 outs. A 7-5 final score and a World Series all even at 2 games apiece. Game 5. With their bats now apparently back in the groove, the Brewers look to move up a game in the series behind the pitching hero of the first contest. In that game, Mike Caldwell retired 27 of 31 batters in pitching the best game of his life. But this time, the Cardinals don't find his pitches quite so impossible. St. Louis stings Caldwell for 14 hits and in every inning gets at least one base runner. That's asking for it, since the Redbirds stole 200 bases during the season. But Caldwell hangs tough with a little help from his mates. Repeatedly, the audience thundered up a big hand for the helping hands, as it did on every trip to the plate by superhero Robin Yount. Bob Forsch couldn't stop Yount in the first game and couldn't stop him here in Game 5, as once again Rockin' Robin knocked out 4 hits. No one had ever had 2 4-hit games in World Series competition, but now Robin Yount did it twice in the same series. Base hit number 4 went for 4 bases and gave the Brewers a 4-2 lead in the 7th. It gave Yount a .524 average with 6 RBIs and led the way to a 6-4 Brewer victory and a 3-2 lead in the World Series. The Milwaukee Brewers were in the driver's seat. But then again, 'twas the Cardinals who were going home to that familiar arch, home to the Mississippi. Home to Busch Stadium, a ballpark with artificial grass and a field designed for speed. And home to the hometown crowd. Game 6, no tomorrow, as they say, for St. Louis. Rookie John Stuper, with good cause to be nervous, said he pitched better when nervous. Former National Leaguer Don Sutton said he didn't know why he hadn't won here in 6 years, but always seemed to find a way. In Game 6, the Cardinals showed Sutton every which way. Not even Charlie Moore's awesome throw from right field could help his pitcher. In the 3rd, with Lonnie Smith at 3rd, a disputed call couldn't save Sutton either. Smith gambled, but was called out. Had he made it, Lonnie would have become the first player in 18 years to steal home in the World Series. Replay suggested he might have. But the Redbirds were in no mood for quibbling on this day. Darrell Porter connected and the rout was on. The pitching was strong. And the defense, led by Ozzie Smith, dazzled. When it rains, it pours. It rained, but despite 2 delays, the Cards kept pouring it on. Dane Orge struck 3 extra base hits, a World Series record for designated hitters. And the Redbirds stacked up 13 runs. A long, dismal night for Milwaukee, kept in a stupor by 25-year-old John Stuper, who permitted but 1 run on 4 hits and no runs till the 9th, when he must have forgotten how nervous he was. Game 7. Time for everyone to get nervous. The scales are balanced, and someone has to tip. St. Louis has to be anxious about Joaquin Andujar's badly bruised knee. As for Mound rival Pete Vukovich, he'll test anyone's nerves. He's made a career out of pitching in and out of trouble. In the early going, Andujar shows no signs of being bothered by his knee as he retires the side in order the first 3 innings. Later, he'd admit the knee hurt from the beginning on, but said, "Nothing is going to beat me tonight." 4th inning, Cecil Cooper batting, 1 away, Robin Yount at first, and the pressure's beginning to build in a scoreless duel. Base hit, but George Hendrick decides to challenge Yount at third. The threat has been answered and perhaps gives St. Louis something that's often hard to define in baseball: momentum. Harvey Keene is concerned as the Cardinals rally in the bottom of the 4th. Runners at the corners for Lonnie Smith.
Come on, get a good pitch. Come on, baby.
Vukovic, who's pitched out of several jams already, tries again. But Smith finds a small opening, and St. Louis finds itself on top, 1-0. And just as important as the score, the inning isn't over yet for Vukovic. If he seems a bit troubled, well, this is the last game of the World Series, and the Cardinals still have 2 men on. Keith Hernandez at bat. Strike 3. Vukovic escapes again. He trails, but only by a run. And that's not much, not even for the cocky Andujar, who must continue to tame a lineup of long ballers like Ben Ogilvy. The power-hitting Brewers, who scored 206 runs more than the Cardinals during the regular season, get their first run here to top. Milwaukee won, St. Louis won. And after the Cardinals failed to score in the bottom half, it was on to the 6th. Jim Gantner leads off. With the potential lead run in scoring position, the Cardinals now have to face the top of the order. Paul Molitor gets ready. Andujar gets advice from Hub Kittle.
Come on, get that slider in on him tight, man. Get it going down. Come on.
Time to beware of signs. Will Harvey's wallbanger sacrifice, or will Molitor swing away? Throws it away. Gantner scores the lead run, and Molitor's on second. Whatever the strategy, it worked. Next batter, Robin Yount. 11 hits in the series, but none since returning to St. Louis. Looking to change that, he turfs one out, and no one covers first. Base hit. Nervous mistakes in a high-stakes ball game all carry a price as a sacrifice fly by Cecil Cooper puts Milwaukee up 3-1. Bottom of the 6th. With the long haul of the season and postseason almost done, the Cardinals know the score. Momentum must be reclaimed. The final trial is now. 1 down, Ozzie Smith at first. Vukovic still pitching and still pitching into trouble. Ozzie Smith to third. Lonnie Smith to second. Sudden life for St. Louis. And a sudden problem for Milwaukee, desperate to buy time for its bullpen.
I want to get him time. I'm going to change right now.
Time. Another word so hard to describe in baseball. The Brewers will buy it no matter what the price, what the method. A few short moments ago, time was the enemy to the Cardinals. Now Harvey Keene will take his time.
Look, they got the lefties coming up on Big Bobby in. Did a hell of a job, big man. Super job. Great, Peter.
Now stay here and wish you the best.
will now replace Vukovic, who leaves despite allowing only 1 run to this point. And the wheels continue to turn and churn on both sides. Whitey Herzog removes left-handed hitter Ken Oberkfell for right-hand pinch hitter Gene Tennis, one of the few players on either side with series experience. McClure, now the bullpen ace with the peerless fingers still out, falls behind and walks Tennis to load the bases. Mike Ramsey pinch running at first. And with the potential tying runs in scoring position, the batter, Keith Hernandez, the Cardinals' top clutch hitter. Ozzie Smith scores. Lonnie Smith scores. Even the deck. Cards 3, Brewers 3. The drama was building for silent George Hendrick. In the cards, Ramsey scores the tiebreaker. Like a would-be flash flood on the Mississippi, St. Louis bursts back 4-3. 8th inning, Mike Caldwell now pitching. Milwaukee trying to keep things tight for one last shot in the 9th. St. Louis looking to blow the lid. Although hitless in his last 6 at-bats, Darrell Porter has been invaluable under pressure. Fly away Redbirds. Like thoroughbreds in the stretch, they extend the lead to 5-3 and then 6-3. And now can smell the roses. The Cardinals rely on the Undertaker, Mr. Bruce Sutter, to pay Milwaukee some last respects. Gorman Thomas remains the final hope for Milwaukee. 2 down, no one on in the 9th. Perfect for 2 innings, Sutter provides the perfect ending. The St. Louis Cardinals are world champions for the 9th time. And for the first time ever, the National League can count 4 straight World Series winners. The Brewers went to the wire for Harvey Kane and owner Bud Selig, but the final hour belonged to the Cardinals. August Busch and Whitey Herzog. Ozzie Smith and Joaquin Andujar. Bruce Sutter. Keith Hernandez. But especially Herzog, who resculptured the team into champions in 2 years.
Oh, geez. I got a world championship ring. It was fun. I'll tell you, it was the most fun I've had playing baseball in my whole career. No question about it. It's a great feeling.
A great feeling for Series MVP Darrell Porter and the St. Louis Cardinals. A World Series victory and championship rings for all.